Shalom, shalom. And 144,000. The elect. Then you women and children. Before I get started, let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Raka'ah Quadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua have mercy upon you. Alright, I'm going to go into this video here. Name of it is I never been on this guy page, The View Today, which is some crap what he's saying. But I'm gonna try to skip through what he's narrating, and I'm just want to get the portion of what Candace Owens and Luke Wood and Stephen Curry and Amala Kapunabi, whatever the name is. It says Candace Owens describes woke Professor Phil McGraw and Stephen Curry live on Dr. Phil for crazy. Stephen Curry. I don't understand him on there. But so let's get in here. Let's go.
Am I supposed to mark multiple boxes? And plus, if you are painting people as an oppressor, if you're white,
That's
and
a
then
terrible
saying
thing to
that
tell
you're
someone to do.
oppressed,
Well, it's the truth because you believe in
color,
affirmative action. So I said Mark Black. If you're a
Then-
student, I'm in an interracial relationship, so I can speak to this. I have a son that's half white and a son that's half black and a daughter that's half white and half black.
Okay.
They're going to mark black because I know that there are people like you at the universities who will say, well, because this person is black, I'm just going to let them in.
No, they're going to mark black because they're black.
Well, they're half black and
See the confusion. See the confusion. You know, this is a constant confusion when it comes to what a person's nationality is. You know, you got to always go into the seed, man. You know, this video really was not concerning the seed, which is Numbers 1 and 18, which is the one we always start with, well, most of us start with anyway. Number 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigree after their family. Pedigree meaning what? That's your lineage. Pedigree after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. You know, the polls can go into what? Raw as well. A man's, you know what. But the seed line, the seed is what it's like taking an apple and planting an apple seed. What's gonna come up? An apple tree. And no matter where you plant that seed, whether you plant it in China, Russia, Italy, France, wherever you plant it, it's still gonna be a what? An apple tree. So Candace Owens don't have so-called black children. She has two children by Edomite, which is a so-called white man. Let me say that. So her children is not black. They're not so-called black. They are so-called white, which is Edomites. And this guy here, Luke Wood, I looked him up too. When they pull his name up, when they pull a name up on him, I'm gonna look him up as well. But Candace Owens' children are not so-called black. They are so-called white, because their fathers are Edomites. Eve does not have a seed. Not only Eve, no women carry the seed. Men carry the seed. You are what your father is.
and half white. They're both, right? So it is true. You overlook
I'm half black and
right.
half
So
white.
you
I'm black.
overlook
Works.
See, now him. Let's get him back up there. This guy here. Hold up. Let's take that back. Let him put his name up there.
overlook
I'm half black and
right.
half
So
white.
you overlook interracial students.
Oh,
so what do you mean? Why are you saying they're going to mark black
socialized in
black?
our society.
So the answer is if you can't. I mean, you can mark both. Can you mark both? I don't know if you can.
Yes.
What are you going to look at that applicant as a little bit less because they're half white? How do you guys figure that out?
How they look at it is, again, holistically across a number of different factors.
I love me a buzzword. Holistically and racial consciousness.
Oh yeah, reverse discrimination. There's a buzzword. It's not reverse
discrimination. It's just discrimination. It's just racism if you're judging people on the basis of their skin color. I don't know why this is so difficult. I mean, you have to go through an extraordinary amount of.
That's ISUPK saying that if they're not from America, they're not Israelites. Madness. How they not Israelites? Did not the so-called black people that came over here in America from the west coast of Africa? Didn't they get us from the shores, get our forefathers from the shores of Africa? So that that's a dumb analogy to even use to go by that. I mean, some things are just, I say it all the time. You can't teach common sense. Some things are just common sense. But with the scriptures make everything plain. But if you don't have it, then that would just mean the Heavenly Father is not dealing with you.
You almost have to have a PhD to not be able to see that.
The amount of mental gymnastics this professor goes through to avoid giving us.
I don't want to hear this guy here. You know what? I'm gonna hear this portion right here.
Straightforward answer is astonishing. It makes it clear when someone is being disingenuous and lacks conviction in their argument.
I want to welcome conservative author and TV host Danielle D'Souza Gill and distinguished professor of education at San Diego State University, Dr. Luke Wood. So welcome to both of you. Now,
oh boy,
let me start with you. Is it possible for white people to be discriminated against because they are the majority and discrimination?
Now let me say something about that. If you don't like me stopping and going, then just go somewhere else. It don't really matter anyway. Because I'm gonna bring the word out the way. I'm gonna bring it out. But anyway, how the hell can white people be discriminated against? Discrimination involves what? You say discrimination involves what? In power? How can they be? They say that they are the majority, which is a total lie. Which is a lie. They've been using that same census of us being 12%, or 10%, 15%, however they use, some small percentage of between 10, 12, or 15% of the population. It's a lie. We multiply. You know what I'm saying? The movie they have, baby kids, that's us. They're not having children fast. They don't have children like us. You know what I'm saying? The Heavenly Father said we are what? Like the sand of the sea. You can't be numbered nor counted. That's one thing. But the main thing is concerning this discrimination, they're trying to say that we, as so-called black people, have the same equal rights that a so-called white person is, and can white person be discriminated against? How the hell can a so-called white person be discriminated against when they don't when we don't have no form of authority or no power? We don't. You just can't a so-called black man can't just go gun down on a so-called white man in the street and not be prosecuted for it. White man get away with it all the time. So how can we, as so-called black people, have what? Some form of a, you know what? Before I go on and get this precept right here real quick. This is Psalms 73. My point is really down here, but I'm gonna start from the top. Truly, God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart, meaning mine. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious, meaning jealous, at the foolish when I saw this prosperity of the wicked. Who he talking about? Esau, even the so-called white man. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So this is why he saw the prosperity of the wicked. Meaning what? For there are no bands in their death, meaning no trouble. Before I continue this, let's hear a little more.
Involves power. Is it possible?
Absolutely. It is unequivocally possible. It happens all the time. This actually happens not only in specific instances, but this happens in a systemic way on our most elite college campuses. And I would also say that this is happening not just in education, but in the workplace.
See this shit? How? How is it possible? Don't no so-called black man own no damn companies. So how can the so-called white man be discriminated against? The average job you can go to, the average job you can go to, so-called white man, black man, so-called black man. I say so-called because nobody's black. I say so-called because nobody's white. So-called white man can go to a job and get $20 to $25 an hour when they'll be paying a so-called black man, what, 10, 12. Be lucky to get, what, 14. It's a lie. You know, all this shit is made up. All these made up numbers and made up things. If it started from the people, the population, that's made up. That's a made up number because they do not outnumber us. They do not. Right? The discrimination, and then the what they call it, affirmative action. Affirmative action is supposed to be for the so-called black man. But what they have done, they have taken Eve, the so-called black woman, and put them in a placement and saying, see, we got one black, which is a woman. In the workplace, we got that 1% we needed right there. That's that affirmative action. And may even put 2 in there because why? Eve and the serpent is what? Still working hand in hand.
Well, is it justified, though? Because if there has been disparity and if there has been discrimination, if there have been minorities that have been excluded for years and years and years and years, is this the way to start to bring some balance and diversity back to those universities and workplaces?
Absolutely not. Affirmative action has been going on for over 50 years, so this has been happening for a long time. And even now, we've actually seen that it's gotten worse in the sense that race relations are so poisonous, and many people on college campuses actually feel like because of all of this that's happening, they feel like they're being pitted against each other.
Doctor, what do you think?
Well, I think I would very respectfully disagree. I certainly don't think that white people are disadvantaged in college admissions. In fact, I would say it is the exact opposite, which is why there are policies and practices in place now to try to alleviate the historical burden. It's like if you ever played Monopoly before, right? Imagine like you have a person who's playing Monopoly and they get to go around multiple times, right? And then like halfway through the game, someone gets to enter into the game. And then because they get a turn, right, then the accusation is, well, somehow that game is unfair.
I had no idea Steve Curry left the basketball court to become a race baiting professional.
This little clown here narrating this thing here, man. He's talking about Steve. You know, anyway. Let me skip through this crap here, man. Him running his mouth. I don't want to. Let me skip through this here. Okay, there we go.
Qualifications. Why isn't that part of the conversation? Just curious.
The kind of accusation, what we would say is reverse racism, we really just view it as what we call race sliding. Race sliding is what happens when gaslighting is racial. And essentially, if you look historically, colleges and universities have prioritized admissions for students who are white. Why is that? When you admit a student, it's oftentimes based upon your grades, high school grades, and your test scores, ACT and SAT, which are being phased out due to COVID-19. But if you think about it, the SAT and ACT have historically measured access to resources, the neighborhood that you grow up in. It is not a measure of a student's drive, a student's motivation. It is really a measure of their access. And ultimately, we know that when things measure access, they really measure white privilege.
I'm just wondering, If there's so much white privilege, and you're a successful black...
It is white privilege. Plenty of white privilege. But this guy that they using here, this guy here, he's not a so-called black man. I looked him up. Here he is here. And he got a twin brother. And his name is Luke Wood. He's a doctor. Joshua Wood left, and his twin brother, J. Luke Wood. And center posed with their adopted mother, Karen. So this is adopted mother right here. Right? But center left, and biological father, Alex Cousinex. So this is father right here. That like a so-called black man to you? No. You are who your father is, right? You know, but it's always a chance that all of us. I mean, it's a possibility he could be a Northern Kingdom. It's always a possibility for anyone to be an Israelite, including this woman here. But if we just gonna want to go by appearance, which is what they're going by, we go by appearance, and now that we know that the seed of your father is, that meaning what? That they will be what? Considered, just by looking at him and say he's a so-called white person, he will be a what? They will be Edomites. This woman here don't count. She's adopted, but she wouldn't count no way because she don't have a seed. So let's go back over here.
Black man with a doctorate. Where's that privilege? Why weren't you held back? How did you gain...
See, prove my point. See, in the work area. This is affirmative action. Who you see? Eve. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see Eve in the workplace when it come to affirmative action, come to making that money. The only time you won't see Eve when they're trying to hire a so-called black person, it's gonna be labor, some form of labor work. And Eve ain't finna do no labor work. She finna do nothing hard. She gonna sit up in the AC. That's what she wanna do. This is Psalm 73:4. For there are no bands, meaning trouble, in their death, but their strength is firm. They, meaning Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, are not in trouble as others, meaning the Israelite men. On this part, meaning the Israelites as a whole, but the Israelite men to be especially the so-called black man. Neither are they plagued like other men. We as the Israelite man, as the whole 12 tribe of the children of Israel, but man, who's plagued more than the so-called black man? Someone that looks like a so-called black man. No one. No one. No one is catching the hell as a so-called black man, which is Judah, from out of the tribe of Judah, American blacks from out of the tribe of Judah. No one.
Access to the opportunities you had, while others supposedly can't achieve the same level of discipline, consistency.
Let me see can I get past this right here, man. Got a lot going on. Damn.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
And everything
but once you've reached that level, why not uplift society?
Let me just let it play. I got to do something.
Creating division. Why not use your influence and power to show others that they can succeed too, regardless of their background? Tell them that if they're willing to sacrifice, work hard, and discipline themselves, they can achieve the same as anyone else, whether it's getting into Ivy League schools or succeeding in their chosen field. Success shouldn't be handed out based on appearance. It should be earned through qualification and effort. Life isn't always fair, and it's not all sunshine and roses.
Slack you, man.
You should get where
I didn't want y'all to play all that crap right there.
Whether in school,
let me
or athletics.
Let me go past this here a little bit.
Handed to you.
I had to take care of something. This is where I want to get right
to
here.
help. And we have all of the evidence there to look at. When you artificially place a Black American into a school in which they do not belong based on their knowledge, doesn't mean that they go on to get A's. In fact, there was a Black adjunct professor, you guys have definitely heard of him, Dr. Thomas Sowell, who was teaching at Cornell University, and he found that the majority of the Black American students that were there were on academic probation. Now, these students were some of the smartest in the nation, but because they were artificially placed amongst their peers at Cornell University, they were failing on academic probation. These policies have never helped Black Americans. It's just basically policies that are put in place to...
So in other words, she's saying that they are the so-called black people that they're pushing, and 9 times out of 10 is a Eve, that they're failing, right? Not saying they don't never put a so-called black man in there, but most of the time there's always who? A Eve, man, which is a so-called black woman, to replace for affirmative action.
To make people feel good, right? I feel like I'm doing something when in fact I'm actually creating harm. You either know the answers or you don't.
When you say, hey, we have Black students at a particular school who aren't performing at that school as well, the immediate assumption that you're making is, well, maybe it's because they're not smart enough, they're not good enough, or they don't belong here. Whereas it could be about the experience that they're having at that institution. Professors who believe that they're not intelligent enough, that they don't have the capability to do the work, that they see them as criminals, deviants, dangerous, up to no good, or they talk about them with the they statements. They're lazy. They don't care. They don't really belong here. They're only here for the financial gain.
I'm giving you actual facts.
No, right? I'm giving you actual facts based on extensive
say, well,
research
maybe they just don't feel good, but that's not the case. I mean, I went to university. I did not feel good, right? I didn't pull the best grades in high school, probably got into a better university than I should have gotten into based on my performance in high school. It wasn't because of my feelings. It's because I wasn't focused on it. And that, we're talking about a cultural problem, what's going on back at home, as was in my circumstance. And none of that is because of institutionalized policy. It almost seems like you guys refuse to accept that, you know, Black students aren't performing well. You feel like you have to have this burden of responsibility when in fact, if you actually wanted to help, you would look at the facts, re-examine the fact that it's not helping anybody. It's not helping Black Americans to artificially place them into universities, and you'd make effective change.
But you're making the assumption that Black students are academically inferior, and they're not.
No,
they're
you
some
are
of our
actually.
most brilliant students that we have.
Basic. No. That you are making the assumption that they are inferior.
You just said that they don't belong there.
Policies. I'm talking about the students that are based on the policies that you are defending right now, saying that we should have these policies that let them into these universities, not based on their skill set, but based on the color of their skin. So you are assuming that they are inferior.
Comedian Tyler Fisher claims he has been turned down by...
Man, you know what, man? This, you know, all this, you know, they got all these old so-called mixed people up here, trying to defend Candace Owens. She married to a so-called white man, right? Got 2 Edomite sons, right? What his name? Luke. Did I forget him? Yeah, I did. His father looked like a so-called white man, right? They're all. Oh, lady, I didn't get to her yet. Let's. Here go another one here.
By 3 agencies because they said they just weren't looking for white men to book at this time. Tyler, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I do identify as a Latino female now, so just adjust my pronouns. Yeah. So I've been in the entertainment business for 17 years. And
see how sick this place is, man. It's always it's a joke to identify as a female now. You know. Boy, you know what? If I was still getting in trouble, and I was going, and they were sending me to a prison, I would be talking about I'm a woman. I mean, that's all it takes for you to say what you identify as, for you to be placed in a. You can imagine that, huh, boy? I have children all over that place, huh? Let's go to Jeremiah 12, y'all. Jeremiah 12. I'm gonna come back over here. Let's go to Jeremiah 12 from the top. And gets, let's see, okay. Righteous art thou, O Lord Yahweh, when I plead with thee, yet let me talk with thee of thy judgment. Wherefore doeth the way of the wicked prosper? Who prospered more over here in wicked America than the so-called white man? No one. Wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously? Don't they deal treacherously with excuse me, with the Israelites that are over here, especially the so-called black man? You know, this here, you know, they put stuff like this here to justify, to try to justify the behavior and to justify the well, to just mainly just push lies out concerning this being, I mean, like they fair. Everything over here in America is fair. You know, the land of the what they call it, the land of the free. Nothing free about this place. They find that out when they come over here and go to work, and then they tax the hell out of them. Then that's when they find out that there's nothing free over here in America, man. Though thou hast what? Planted them, meaning the rulers of the earth. Esau Edom has been planted, and he's the ruler of the earth. And we are what? Catching hell by being in the hands of who? Our oppressors. And that main oppressor that are oppressing us is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is oppressing the whole damn earth. Yeah, they have taken root. They grow, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth. Why? Because they worship what? Idols? Them damn selves. So by them worshiping idols and them being rulers of the earth at this present moment, this is why all the Israelites, for the majority, which is the 2/3, the bulk of doing what? Worshiping idols. They bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth, and far from their ruins.
And I think what we're not talking about is children right now. Thank God I had about 5 years where this was not happening, where race was not pounded over your head. This is
Professor
destroying people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, the manager that told me, I can't work with you because you're white, he was a pawn, you know? And so it's so sad because I feel so bad for kids who won't have that chance.
Hey man, this shit is laughable, man. It's very laughable, man. Listen to him, man. And that fake like he wanted to cry because he got turned down for a job and all. This man is lying his ass off, man. Yeah, he's lying his ass off, man. With his pride. Who more proud than Esau Edom? This devil ain't being turned down for no damn job, man. Man, I'm gonna go back to Psalm 73 and verse 6. Therefore pride compasses them. Esau Edom, man. Damn devil proud as hell. About as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Look at what's going on now. They talking about going down there to Aurora, Colorado. Them bikers, what their name is? Hell's Angel, which I don't believe no way. You know, them men don't operate like that, right? They don't operate like that. They operate when you mess with one of them. They'll do up in it. They're not finna be taking no fight in their hands with just some random people getting kicked out of an apartment. That's not none of their business. Not none of their business, man. You know, they already up. These people been up under investigation since probably the 60s or even earlier. Yeah, no, earlier than that because actually before I was even born. So let's hear a little more out. And I'm gonna close this out.
And they're gonna go, oh, I'm told I'm white, so I'm not gonna go for it. You know, what would you say to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, no matter what their race is? What would you actually tell them? You know, should you give your job up? And let me ask you directly, do you think it was justified for me to be told, we can't represent you, you don't have the chance to now compete for jobs because you're white? Yes or no? Was that okay or was that not okay?
I think that what is described by you.
Don't give me your little
let me
bubble
finish.
wrap.
What is described by you?
Ain't that some crap, man? You got a damn so-called white man on here pressing a so-called black man concerning him being discriminated against. This shit is laughable, man. Good God, man.
Telling you that you can't get that job because you're white does not sound right to me.
Just give us a straight answer. Yes or no, right or wrong. Not whether it sounds wrong.
This devil him. Let's get this mess out of here. And he just, I don't know who this guy is. This man, like I said, it's my first time actually coming on this. Let's get rid of this crap here. Okay, he's still talking. Okay, that's probably about right here. Let's go here.
All share the same ancestry that began with Adam and Eve.
I did a show the other day, and they said, "Are you doing the next show?"
Let's go back. Let's go back. He said we all share what? I didn't catch that.
Aren't white people also human beings? Last time I checked, regardless of whether we're black, brown, yellow, or any other color, we're all human beings created in God's image as men and women. We all bleed the same red blood, and we all share.
A damn frog bleed red. A cat bleed red. A dog bleed red. A bird bleed red. So we same as cats and dogs and animals?
Share the same ancestry that began with Adam and Eve.
I did a show the other day.
Well, let's see. I won't even go on this here. I know I'm going to live everywhere, y'all, but I got to get this here. Is it a second address? Damn, boy, I ain't got it in so long. Yeah, 6 and 54. What's that? Say we all bleed the same. We all the same, y'all, because of Adam. This is second address 6 and 54. And after these Adam just mean man. Also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. We all came from Adam, like he just said. And the people also whom thou hast what? Hast chosen. Who did he choose? Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's the so-called blacks, the Spanish, and natives of this land, which is the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You also got Isaiah 41:8. And the other people whom also have chosen, verse 55 of 2nd Esdras 6 and 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. You know what? Let's go to over here, 7 and 10. 2nd Esdras 7 and 10. I'm going to come back to that. 7 and 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. So we are the Lord's portion, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Because for their sake I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statute, then was decreased that now is done. This is why we are in the hands of our enemy. Because why? Because of starting with what? Eve, wicked behind so-called black woman. Right? All this, back to 55, 2nd Esdras 6 and 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sake. As for the other people, the other nations, the so-called white man, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, you name it, right? Which also come of Adam. They come of Adam as well. Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle. What's spittle? Spit. And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So it's like having a bucket of water and a drop come out and fall out. Are you going to be concerned about, are you going to go back and try to get that drop from off the ground? No. This is what the Heavenly Father thinks of the other nations. the other vessels, or should I say. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathens, which have ever been reputed as nothing, these heathens that control the earth, Esau even was the vagabond of the earth, has what? O Lord, behold, these heathens have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us, and to devour us. But we thy people, so-called blacks, Spanish, and natives of this land, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, that is Romans 8:16 and verse 17, thy firstborn, thy only begotten, in thy fervent lover, that's Matthew 22, Matthew 22 and 8 and verse 9, are given into their what? Into their hands. So we're in the hands of our enemies. If the world now be made for our sake, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? Because why? Because the Heavenly Father has given the earth over to who? In the hands of the wicked. Can't say it enough. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. This is why we don't control or have anything. A military to fight with us, to protect us from what? Our enemies when they're gunning us down in the streets. How long shall this endure? How long shall this endure, man? Let's go back to this up here, and I'm going to come back to the other precept here. Let's go back over here and hear them on out.
Day, and they said, "Are you doing the next show?" And I said, "Yeah." The guy said, "I didn't know you were gay." He said, "This is a gays only show." And so that's why Hollywood sucks right now, by the way, because they're not hiring based on talent. What do we do about heart surgeons, airplane pilots? Like, how far do we want to go with this? Do you want the best heart surgeon, or do you want somebody who you think may have had it bad as a kid, or maybe their great-great-grandfather? I mean, it's ridiculous.
I think it's important to state how affirmative action actually harms everybody involved. So when you put a black student on a campus or...
Got another audio, y'all. She's a so-called black woman. Her father is a so-called black man. I think he's from out of the you know what? Let's just go to it. I pulled her up. Her name is Amala. I pulled her up. Here she go right here. This is her boyfriend, her husband. This guy right here. This her. So you see what she all about right here. Her father is let's see something here. Her husband. Oh yeah, her father was from out of the God damn it. I had it. I don't know, I pulled it up. I'll tell you what. Let's just do this right here. Right quick. I don't want to just make statements that I don't know. Father. Her father. Here, let me see, brother. Yeah, here it is here. In another Prager video, her name is Ekpun Nobi, who also goes by the social media handle Half Black Conservative, reveals her Nigerian immigrant father. So her father is a Nigerian. So she's a, but she date Oreos.
or put them in a job and you've given them, preferential treatment in order for them to be there, you've actually robbed them of knowing they've gotten an opportunity based on their own merit. So they're questioning themselves and their place in the environment. And for all the non-people of color who are surrounding them, they now get to look at any person of color and go, I don't know what...
See, these ease that they use right here, man. Right? These ease that they use right here, especially the ones that don't want to be with their own kind. You know what I'm saying? This is what they love using these right here. Right? This is why even Candace Owens, man, even though some of the things that she say, I agree with her, but let's face it, she like Oreos, right? She even got 2 kids by a so-called white man. So but this whole narrative that they trying to push concerning affirmative action, like it both ways, like the so-called white man is being discriminated against, it's straight BS.
Whether or not you got this job based on merit or based on preferential treatment. And I know this to be true because I'm a biracial woman who has those thoughts now because of the culture that we're living in.
Thank God for people who refuse.
Shut up, man. 13. Okay. I don't think let me just read it. Let me get the precepts in, man. I'm gonna close this out. I'm not playing that crap no more. So let's get this face off here though. I'd rather have Candace Owens on here. I don't want to be one of my what's her name. We'll go back up into Psalm 73 and go to verse 6, because I stopped at verse 6. Therefore pride compasseth them, Esau, Edom, who more prideful than him and Eve? You can't talk about Esau and don't talk about Eve. They are both what? They are both still what? Working hand in hand. But it's really mainly talking about Esau. Their pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. Look at the rich, man. I'm talking the 50 rich. Now I'm talking about Steph Curry and them and your Michael Jacksons and them. Those not the rich for real. That's nothing, no peanuts. We talking about the elites of this world. They have more than their what? Than their heart could wish. They are corrupt. And who is more corrupt than the so-called white man? Poisoning all the damn food, poisoning the water, tricking people into coming to get those things or what? And they just dying around here like flies. And they still running to and doing the same thing. He's still tricking them. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. That it is. They speak lofty. They always talking down on a so-called black man. They always mistreating them. They always treating them bad. Because why? Because this is the ways of what? Of this world. Which is what? Which is America. What's that is? Never trust thy enemy. Ecclesiasticus 12. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Go to verse 16. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips. Don't they always coming up on you and speaking good, like they're all for you, but they really hate you? An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Yeah, they always want to see blood. You know, Esau, Edom, they love blood, man. They love to see blood touch blood, right? He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, like it's Edomite just did. Like he was about to cry, act like he was about to cry, because why? Because like he been discriminated against that bad that he's catching hell in the what? In the American society. Boy, that's total BS. But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, if adversity come upon a so-called black man, Hispanic or native to this land, but mainly a so-called black man, thou shalt find him there first. Why? Because this is his behavior. This is what he does to who? To the innocent, to the righteous. And though he pretend to help thee, like he pretending to help what? Like we are, it go both ways. The so-called black man is oppressing the so-called white man in America. We can't get no job, man. It's total BS. Yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. Yeah, he'll change up on you, man, and what? And cut your head off, man. Y'all be around here trusting Esau, Edom. The only person who can trust Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is Eve, man. Because Eve always got the devil's back. She's always got the devil back. Let's go to Rulers of the Earth. Job. Let's go to Job. Job 9 and verse 24. Yeah, 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who are the ultimate judge of the earth? Who they already killed and sacrificed? And with that, you 2/3, you wicked Israelite, would you are back now, hating the prophets, just like you hated on whoever equally called Jesus, which is Yahweh, gave him up. So now you in the process, you back on earth doing the same wickedness. You're mad at the prophets that now for preaching the truth. You want to give them up as well. You want to take their lives as well. But guess what? We're in the times of what? Of that grace coming from under, you wicked jokers. And in the process of that grace, you're going to need that mercy, which you're not going to receive during this time if you are not part of the 1/3, which is the elect. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it ain't Esau, Edom, then who the hell is it? So stop it. Quit it with the madness concerning affirmative action, like it's some form of equal opportunity for a so-called black man in this society of America. It's madness, man. The only person receiving a good portion of this society is Eve, man. This is why she does not have to worry about, well, they falling off right now because why? Esau's kingdom is crumbling. So in the process, if Esau is falling back and falling on his ass, then guess what? Eve gonna fall too, because Esau, Edom, they both work hand in hand. So that's all I got on this here, man. Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Rakah Quadash, Shalom.